Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back for an encore presentation tonight, and hopefully it lives up to, how good a typical encore presentation would be. So I'm going to go over the YieldMax dividends that were declared today, and also do a holdings review for all of the Group D dividends, and including the weekly dividends as well. So let's go ahead and take care of business first here. So I did go over the dividends on another live stream, but I wanted to take a specific time here to actually go over these. So let me just go in here real quick. Let me monetize this video and then we'll get going. Um, Apologies, I'm still kind of learning this tool. So it goes live literally immediately. Okay, so first things first, let's go over again the dividends that we got that were declared today. Let me just refresh this page a little bit here. Um, Okay, so to start out with, so we got $1.50 for SMCY, $1.34 for Misty, 49 cents for AMZY, 44 cents for YQQQ, 44 cents for XYZY, 42 cents for LFGY, 36 cents for RDTY, 32.5 cents for DISO, 30 cents for Aptly, 24 cents for GPTY, 23 cents for AIYY, 23 cents for SDTY, 22 cents for QDTY, 13 cents for YMAX, 10 cents for YMAG, and 8 cents for Ulti. Okay, so those are the dividends there. Um, we had a couple of them that were over 100%. SMCY was over 100%, which is phenomenal. Misty was over 100%. Ulti's still 79% despite the drops. AIYY is 71%. And LFGY, which is a weekly one, is holding pretty steady at 69.83%. So now I want to hop over here. Uh, Now, what's interesting, we were talking earlier on the live stream about how well the YieldMax and some of the others like Roundhill, how well they're actually holding to their benchmark. So like if you look at the movements today and all of the underlyings and compare them to these dividend funds, they actually did really well, which it's noticeable that like for a short period of time, these funds are able to do that. If they could sustain it long term, I mean, they would definitely corner the market on some of this stuff, but they're not able to do it long term. We seem to have long term NAV erosion, obviously. Um, Okay, so let's go here now and review what is on the YieldMax site. Okay, so as a reminder for Group D includes over here MSTY, YQQQ, AMZY, basically all the ones we just mentioned, Aptly, AIYY, DISO, XYZY, SMCY, and then WNTR. I like this because it's like a menu of funds here. So we've got the weekly payers here, of which there's about 10 now. So there's actually 2, 4, 6, 8, actually 9. This looks like a new one, CHPY. So we've got YMAX, YMAG, LFGY, let's F and go, as it says, as it were, GPTY, SDTY, RDTY, QDTY, Ulti, Ulti no go up, right? And CHPY. So, as a bit of an aside here, some of you say I'm boring, so I'm really gonna try to start practicing, I guess, my people skills here and try to be more entertaining. So let's do the voice chat here because inevitably someone always joins the voice chat. Um, so anyway, like I said, it's like a full menu of dividends here. Okay, so now what I would like to do is go into as much detail as we can see for each one that's in the Group D, basically. So that requires me to pull up another screen over here. Let's see, YieldMax. Um, we also need to cover the Europe funds now too, because YieldMax is gone. They're in Europe as well now. Okay, so first things first, let's go down here. Where are we? Um, let's see here. We want, let's see here. Let me just look up one and see what we get. So we're going to look at holdings for all of these here. I see what I did here. Hold on. YieldMax. Distribution schedules under education. It would help to actually spend some time learning how the website is laid out, right? Okay, here we go. So first things first, we have got, for covered call ETFs, we are going to do an in-depth look here at Misty. There's so many funds now, it's hard to keep track of. And where is Misty? These seem to not be in any particular order. So Misty, we're going to do a detailed review of the holdings here. So the distribution rate is 104%. Here is the dividend history here, going all the way back for a year. Obviously, the good old days were back in 2024 when we were getting $4.42 per month. And now we're down to $1.37, which is one of our lowest. Actually, it's tied for our lowest. And then let's see what we got here. So here's the NAV versus the market, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, year to date. So the NAV seems to be possibly outperforming the market. So the holdings, we've got treasury notes and bonds up here, and then we've got the expiring dates here. We've got MSTR calls, basically, because remember, these are covered call ETFs. So the holdings, they're holding MSTR calls at 270. Treasury bills, U.S. Treasury, and then another call, because this is what they do, right? They hold them at two different, so they're basically doing like a spread or synthetic or whatever you want to call it. So MSTR, we've got a $330 call expiring May 16th. So these are basically a month out. And then we've got more government obligations fund, treasury bills, so on and so forth. Now, if I go in here and download all holdings, um, let me open this really quick over here. We're going to do a holdings review. We're going to start this officially now, like once a week for each one. We're going to start a holdings review, at least for the group that's paid that week. Let's see if our trusty spreadsheet came up over here. What is this? This isn't what I'm looking for. Let me go to downloads and pull it up. Oh, come on, don't crash my computer here. Excel. Here we go. So it's Title. Title is like the parent company, right? That's who Jay officially works for now. Okay, so let's close this out. Okay, here is all the holdings here. We're going to see all these calls at various strikes. So we've got MSTR. Let's do this one here. We've got them at all these varying strike prices. We've got them at 270, 290, 330, 360, 350, 345, 340, 335, 330, 325, 320 at every basically $5 increment. And so they're harvesting all this premium in order to be able to pay out the dividend. Pretty soon I'm going to start doing dividend estimates on here. Okay, I guess the cat's got everybody's tongue tonight. We're rather quiet. Then again, I'm typically not doing videos this late, but I'm starting to feel a little more motivation. You know, when you have another YouTuber out there that basically says they're about to go away for a year, then they come back within 48 hours. It's weirdly motivating. It's hard to describe, but just oddly motivating. Okay, so now we're looking for YQQQ. So YQQQ, I don't think we've ever really talked about this one on here. This one, I probably don't even know where it is. It shows how much of a YieldMax shill I am, right? When I don't even know where stuff is. Um, let's see here. It's a short one, so it's a short NASDAQ 100. So let's look at the holdings for this bad boy. It's got a 31% dividend. Leaves a little bit to be desired given the amount that the NASDAQ has dropped. So we've been in the 30 to 40 cent range per month here with this one, and actually our highest dividend, and this makes sense that it should be the highest because the NASDAQ has dropped tremendously over the past month. Now we did have a great day today. Here's the NAV versus market. Holdings again, a lot of T-bills, and then we've got obviously the QQQ. We've got puts instead of calls. Keep in mind because this is an inverse fund. So actually, well, we've got a put and a call here, but not a straddle. It's a little bit of a joke. Okay, So yeah, we've got a put and a call. So it's obviously a more defensive position. So let me just go ahead and do this here, shortcut this. Okay, so this one, there's only four positions actually for the options chunk. We've got three puts and a call, basically. So we've got a $399 put, a 404, a 475, and then a $615 call. So that one is obviously a way out of the money call that they're trying to harvest some premium from that they'd never expect to hit. That's why they're in it. So that's the holdings for the YQQQ. The weekly ones I'm probably just going to save for another time, unless we actually get a comment here from our 6 viewers. Anyway, let's keep pressing forward. So let's see here. I'll just stay on here. Heck with it. I had a sneeze coming on. Okay, so the next one is going to be AMZ. That's who was that? Oracle's favorite, right? So AMZ, or it used to be his favorite. I don't know anymore. I haven't watched him in a while. So 37%. It's been paying since September 7th of 2023. So we've got all these dividends here. We had as high as 97 cents. These were the 2 months I remember that Oracle was covering when they were 97 and 95 cents. Then they started dropping. Then they kind of got, and then we actually had $1.17. So we were able to harvest a little bit more of the upside there. Then we had 86 cents in December, and then we've been down since then. So holdings for AMZN are going to be, we've got calls here at 202 and 197. We've got a call at 190, and then again a lot of T-bills. And you see the weightings here. You would think the weightings would actually be so these are more. This is what's strange here. The weightings here, it's more geared towards like the T-bonds and stuff like that. So we'll have to ask Jay why they're doing this. They're more weighted. It's like look at this. This is almost 75% in T-bills. So they've gone very conservative actually. The actual options are a very small portion of that. So that's something that's definitely worthy of asking Jay about. So that's AMZ. For Aptly, let's look into that one next. So for Aptly, we've got to be able to find it first. Aptly. Hmm. Where did you go? Oh, you're up here. Okay. So Aptly was like the second or third one that they released in the year 2023. So we've got a 37% dividend yield. The yield here, I want to say, has been very consistent actually over the past 10 to 12 months. See, in the 30-cent range, dropped a little bit here, was in the 40-cent range here, but mid 30s, mid 30s. This was mid 40s, so a little bit higher. But Apple tends to be a very consistent stock, so it's one definitely worthy of the wheel strategy for sure. So we're going to notice the same thing here. This is like uh, 58% here. So 80, this is like 81% total um, in these funds, or in the treasury funds. And then so Apple, it's a very small, actually we've got a negative weighting here. Maybe that means it's a short position. So we've got a short and a long, the same amount of shares here at $10 off, a $10 difference in the strike. So 212.50 call here, 202.50 call over there. Um, and then we've got a 185 call option here. So that's the holdings for Apple. So we're seeing a pattern here. We're seeing some very defensive positioning here on the part of YieldMax. Now let's go look at AIYY. So the AI option income. This is almost 100% yield. So 32 cents, 37 cents, 38 cents, 87 cents. So we had a high one obviously there in December when the market was even better. So again, we're seeing the same weighting here, 50. So that's like 70% of the weighting that's gone into T-bills. This is something I'm just now noticing. I'm glad I'm doing this video because I'm sort of just now noticing that what's this here? We got a comment from Nathaniel Ryan. Read Friend Theory, Understanding the Multiverse and Our Role Within It, and the Simulated Multiverse. We most likely live in a simulated world where macro level events are following a script. I've heard simulation theory a lot, and I'd actually love to discuss that in further detail. By the way, I'm thinking I'm going to start opening the channel up. I just had a really good conversation with Andre offline, and I think I'm going to start opening the channel up to all kinds of different topics, whether it be music, food, fitness. We can discuss the money implications of all of these, because since we're a finance channel, but might as well branch out, right? So he said the lightning fast synchronicity of markets with government events and media is part of the evidence. Yeah, I certainly do want to brush up on simulation theory more. Although I'd love to simulate faster channel growth, that would always be amazing. Okay, so again here the bulk is in these funds here. And then we've got AI calls at $25. We've got another call at 23.50, and then another one at 25 as well. And it's a small uh, percentage holding there. Okay, so now let's go to DISO. Okay, so DISO, Disney. This one is 31%. Um, we were as high as 70 cents. We were as low as 28 cents, or possibly even, no, that was our lowest, 26 cents in October of 23. Wow, time has flown by, hasn't it? So we're seeing a similar weighting here again with treasuries, T-bills, and all that. We've got an $85 call for Disney here, a $92 call, and then an $85 put. So that's I forget what type of strategy they call that, but with the negative weighting, it looks like they're short the put and they're long the two calls here. So that's the holdings for Disney. XYZY, when I look at that one, it makes me think we're at the end of the alphabet. So I kind of want to think, oh, we're almost done, but we've actually got two more after that. We've got this new one called Winter, which is like, what is that, like the Winter Soldier or something? It's kind of a bizarre name. 62% yield. We've been having so 50 cents in March, 58 cents in February, 63 cents in January, 65 cents in December. We had a whole $1.66 here. Um, and then so we had again, you see a big portion here. So that's 60. This is almost 85%. Actually, this is 85% weighting in treasuries. I got to ask about this. This isn't a glitch because it's on their own website. But so we have a $55 call for XYZ. We've got a $61 call, and then we got a $63 call. So those are our three options positions that we're seeing there. So that's XYZ, that XYZY rather. And then for SMCY, 135% yield. How about this one? So this is the SMCI fund. We've had as high as $5.35 here, and we've had as low. So this is our second lowest dividend here, this $1.97. It's only been below $2 twice. We had $1.72 here in January. That was our lowest one. Of course, SMCI is all over the map. That's one of the stocks I hold. It's just been all over the map. What better fund inception date could they have picked than 9/11? I would honestly make it just a day later just to not be on that date. But it is what it is. I guess I'm a little superstitious. Now, this one is 70% cash. This one, it's insane. It's almost all. How's this possible? This adds up to over 100%. I gotta ask Jay about this. Maybe we'll have him on again sooner than we thought. But basically, this is 70, 88%. This adds up to higher than 100%. So I would need somebody to explain that to me. Down here, we've got calls at different strikes. We've got a 50-cent difference between the $40 calls and the 39.50 calls here. Lots of treasuries. And then, like I said, the two calls at different strikes there. That's like a spread, basically. So SMCY, and then last but not least, winter. So winter, let's go over here, like Winter Soldier, right? Uh, winter is actually an inverse one, I think. Let's see. Yeah, short option income. Okay, so this strategy is a little bit different on this one. So winter is the short MSTR. So I don't get the usually I get the clever naming convention, but I'm not seeing it here. So inverse MSTR is winter, which I guess maybe that's the time they released it. I'm not sure. Usually there's like a either a story or a punchline to this, but I'm not seeing it or it's evading me. Okay, this one's much more heavily weighted here. We've got puts at $330. So they're more confident in their strategy here. The Treasury, we do have some higher than usual weightings towards Treasury, but we've got 20% weighting here towards the put at $330. And then we've got a $450 call, which has barely any weighting at all. We've got some of the position in cash, American Government Obligations Fund, treasuries. So we've got a lot of treasuries, but this one has a higher, I would say, concentration of options, which is what we're kind of used to with these. But we're definitely seeing a defensive position for sure. Okay, so that is pretty much the holdings and dividends review. Let's see how we're doing on time here. Okay, yeah, we've gone over 20 minutes, so we'll do one more comment here. What happened to the video where you made 60,000? I saw this thumbnail earlier. Well, Crazy Wolf King, I got a little crazy with the thumbnail. I used the dollar bill with me with the glasses and the little, joint. Um, but it wasn't doing well and I was losing subscribers, so I just changed the thumbnail back. It's still there. I'll go show you real quick and then we'll call it a night here. Um, let me go show you where it is. So I changed the thumbnail. The thumbnail is one of my other standard ones. It's called How to Make Big Money with Dividends. It's right under this one here, in case you're looking. So my account is true. My account was up 60,000. The interesting thing, my 401k, which historically has been a bigger account, that one was up like 40,000 today. So all in all, the accounts came back like my net worth came back significantly today. So that's always nice. Anyway, hey folks, thank you all so much for tuning in. Definitely want you to like, comment, and subscribe and join Discord if you haven't already. Link is in every video description, and we will see you all in the